and actually compare it to the body of work that you actually did to solve the problem. Did you have good luck, bad luck? Did you ask the right questions? Did you foresee the risks correctly? And this can give you a way.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Shirley, which is the founder of Decisive, which is a decision science company that trains people and teams in complex problem solving and decision making skills using the area method. So Sherry, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend to entrepreneurs in order to achieve the first million?
Thank you for inviting me to be here. So I think the first thing is really to know how important it is to be a thoughtful decision maker. And then from there, you can use my system, the area method, as a way that you can solve complex problems. And area has a couple steps to it. It's an acronym for how you move through a quality due diligence process. The A in area is for absolute information, up close on the target of your decision. That's step 1. The R is relative information, putting that information from your absolute target into its ecosystem to understand the environment in which it operates. That's step 2. And then the E in area is actually exploration and exploitation. So that's steps 3 and 4. And those are moving beyond document-based sources to really identify good people in exploration and ask them good questions to understand the difference between the map and the terrain. And then the second E, exploitation, is where you confront your cognitive biases. It gives you a series of creative exercises to look at the diagnosticity of the data that you've collected, to check and challenge where you've made unhelpful assumptions and judgments. And then the 5th step is actually the final step of the word area. It's analysis, where I give you a way to think about how to put all your information back together to make a better big decision.
Problem solving, the key in order to have a successful business, because let's face it, if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening out there, become a good entrepreneur equals to become a great problem solver. And I remember I got a degree in chemical engineering, and for 5 years they would give me problems. These people, math problem, chemistry problems, biology problems, physics problems, that they were a big headache to solve them actually. 5 years in the university, and after 5 years, I'm thinking, well, why am I spending 5 years here solving this problem that I never gonna use in my life? This is totally useless. When I realized my life as an entrepreneur, that somehow I spent 5 years in that university, and those math problems, these physics problems, they were all visual problems, but they were problems. So somehow I end up with the capacity external to solve problems. When I see a problem in business, I know that can have several solutions. I know that I need to break it down. I know a few things about problem solving because I'm an engineer and we have been trained to solve problems. I didn't know that when I was in university. I never find the point. I just find very difficult to solve them, and they were giving us again and again and again for so many years, and I didn't find the point. So, sharing, solving problem is a talent or a skill that entrepreneurs can have. Basically, the more your skill is, the more you practice, the better you become. You know, if you want to drive a car, if you practice more, everyone can drive a car. It depends how much you practice. So the more you skill based means the more you practice, the better you become. Or do you really need to be a talent like Albert Einstein to solve the problem in order to succeed as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so there's 2 kinds of learning. There's knowledge and skill. You're exactly right. And I consider decision-making to be a skill, which means I can teach it to you. And then you can use those skills to apply them for all of the problems that crop up in your life. So I
Yeah, you can
completely-
teach me, but then I have to practice, right?
Oh, I think practice is really important, right?
How we
Just
practice problem solving?
Well, I think that you can use a system like the area method and you can test it out for a problem you've already solved because you've already been through the process. So you can use it as a rear view mirror exercise to sort of see where and how it guides you to do something different. But you can also just apply it to something that's going on in your life now. And because it asks you to keep a record of your work, you actually will have an audit trail of both your work and your thinking. And that is something that can hold you accountable so you don't have an evolving hypothesis, which is where you may move the goalposts after a decision has been made to recreate why you thought you went ahead and did something and actually compare it to the body of work that you actually did to solve the problem. Did you have good luck, bad luck? Did you ask the right questions? Did you foresee the risks correctly? And this can give you a way to also constantly build a book of you as a decision maker to make better big decisions and learn from your past.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.